The Oracle of Delphi, shrouded in mystery and revered as the mouthpiece of the gods, once whispered a prophecy that would echo through the ages, a warning that foretold the collapse of empires and the rise of new powers. What if these ancient seers truly glimpsed the threads of fate, weaving predictions that would alter the course of history, from the rise and fall of civilizations to the decisions of kings and conquerors? Prophecies have long held humanity in their grip, sparking awe, fear, and endless debate. Were these predictions mere coincidences, or did the ancients possess a profound understanding of forces beyond our comprehension? In this video, we'll uncover 20 of the most mysterious prophecies from the ancient world, each one a ripple in the fabric of time, shaping destinies and leaving us to wonder, could the future truly have been written in the stars? Join us as we journey through the cryptic words of oracles, the enigmatic visions of seers, and the startling accuracy of predictions that continue to baffle historians and scholars to this day. The past holds secrets, and today we're unraveling them. King Croesus of Lydia, one of the wealthiest and most powerful rulers of his time, stood at a crossroads. Facing the threat of the rising Persian Empire, he turned to the Oracle of Delphi, the most revered seer in ancient Greece. The oracle, believed to channel the wisdom of Apollo himself, delivered a prophecy that seemed clear at first. If you cross the Halys River and wage war, you will destroy a great empire. Confident in her words, Croesus launched his campaign, only to discover too late that the empire destined to fall was his own. The prophecy, though accurate, had been fatally misinterpreted, a stark reminder of the delicate dance between human ambition and divine insight. The Oracle of Delphi wasn't just a figure of legend, she was a cornerstone of Greek society. Nestled on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, her temple drew kings, generals, and commoners alike, all seeking guidance from Apollo's chosen mouthpiece. Her cryptic utterances, often delivered in riddles or poetic verses, were believed to hold the key to the future. Yet, as Croesus learned, the truth of a prophecy often lay not in the words themselves, but in how they were understood or misunderstood. This interplay between clarity and ambiguity made the oracle both a source of hope and a harbinger of doom. Croesus's story is more than a cautionary tale. It's a window into the profound influence of prophecy in the ancient world. The oracle's predictions weren't just personal fortunes, they shaped the decisions of leaders, the outcomes of wars, and the rise and fall of civilizations. But as we'll see, Croesus wasn't the only one to grapple with the enigmatic nature of divine foresight. Across cultures and centuries, misinterpretation often played a pivotal role in how prophecies unfolded, leading to outcomes that were as unpredictable as they were inevitable. And with that, we turn to another ancient prediction, one that would challenge even the most astute minds of its time. Long before the Oracle of Delphi captured the imagination of the Greeks, another ancient source of prophecy held sway over one of the greatest empires in history, the Sibylline Books. These cryptic texts, said to contain the wisdom of the Sibyls, mysterious prophetesses who channeled the will of the gods, were among Rome's most closely guarded secrets. Kept in the Temple of Jupiter on Capitoline Hill, the books were consulted only in times of dire crisis, their words believed to hold the power to avert disaster or guide Rome to victory. But where did these prophecies come from, and why were they entrusted to a civilization that would one day dominate the Mediterranean world? According to legend, an old woman approached the Roman king Tarquin the Proud, offering to sell him 9 books of prophecies at an exorbitant price. When he refused, she burned 3 of them and returned, demanding the same amount for the remaining 6. Again, Tarquin declined, and again she burned 3 more. Intrigued, and perhaps a bit unnerved by her persistence, he finally agreed to pay the original price for the last 3 books. These texts became the Sibylline Books, and their prophecies would play a pivotal role in shaping Rome's destiny. One of the most dramatic moments in their history came during the Punic Wars, a series of conflicts between Rome and Carthage that threatened to destroy the fledgling empire. Facing the relentless advance of Hannibal and his army, Rome turned to the Sibylline Books for guidance. The prophecies advised a radical and unsettling solution: the introduction of the cult of Cybele, the Great Mother, into Roman religious practice. Though this foreign deity was initially met with resistance, her worship was said to have turned the tide of the war, securing Rome's eventual victory and solidifying its place as a dominant power. Yet for all their influence, the contents of the Sibylline Books remained shrouded in mystery. Only a select few priests were permitted to read them, and their words were never recorded for public knowledge. This secrecy has fueled centuries of speculation. Were these prophecies truly divine, or were they a tool wielded by Rome's leaders to maintain control and inspire hope in desperate times? Whatever the truth, the Sibylline Books stand as a testament to the profound role prophecy played in the ancient world, a role that would continue to shape the rise and fall of empires. As we move forward, we encounter another prophecy, one that would challenge not just a single nation, but the very fabric of human belief. The stakes were high, the predictions perilous, and the consequences would reverberate far beyond the borders of Rome. The Maya civilization, known for their astonishing advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and architecture, left behind a legacy of knowledge that continues to fascinate and perplex us. Among their most enduring contributions is the long count calendar, a complex system that tracks vast cycles of time. Unlike our modern Gregorian calendar, the Maya calendar wasn't just a tool for marking days, it was a cosmic map, intricately tied to their understanding of creation, destiny, and the cyclical nature of existence. At the heart of this system was the prophecy tied to the end of the 13th Bacton cycle, a moment that many believed heralded the end of the world on December 21, 2012. The long count calendar operates on a series of nested cycles, with the Bacton being one of the largest units, spanning approximately 144,000 days, roughly 394 years. The completion of the 13th Bacton marked a significant milestone, not just in the calendar, but in the Maya worldview. For them, this wasn't necessarily a prediction of doom, but rather a moment of transformation, a time when one era ended and another began. The idea of an end was more about renewal than destruction, a concept deeply rooted in their belief in the cyclical nature of time. Yet, as the date approached, modern interpretations took on a life of their own. Fueled by media sensationalism and a global fascination with apocalyptic narratives, December 21, 2012 became synonymous with catastrophe. Books, movies, and documentaries speculated wildly about what the Maya had foreseen, everything from planetary alignments to catastrophic natural disasters. The prophecy, stripped of its cultural context, became a blank canvas for humanity's collective anxieties about the future. Interestingly, the Maya themselves left no definitive record predicting the end of the world. Instead, their texts and inscriptions suggest a belief in continuity, a conviction that the universe would keep cycling through periods of creation and renewal. The end of the 13th Bacton was less about annihilation and more about reflection, a time to honor the past and prepare for the next chapter. This nuanced understanding, however, was often overshadowed by the dramatic interpretations that captivated the modern world. The Maya prophecy is far from unique in the annals of history. Cultures around the globe have long been fascinated by the idea of apocalyptic events, often tying them to celestial phenomena or divine intervention. From the Norse myth of Ragnarok to the Zoroastrian concept of Fraschokreti, the end of the world has been a recurring theme across civilizations, each offering its own perspective on what lies beyond. These predictions, whether born of fear, hope, or spiritual insight, reveal a universal human desire to make sense of the unknown, to find meaning in the cycles of time and the mysteries of existence. As we reflect on the Maya long count calendar and its enduring legacy, we're reminded of the power of prophecy to shape not just individual lives, but entire societies. Whether interpreted as a warning, a promise, or a call to reflection, these ancient predictions continue to resonate, inviting us to consider our place in the vast tapestry of time. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll see how another civilization grappled with the weight of foresight, leaving behind a story that still echoes through the ages. While the Maya looked to the stars for signs of cyclical renewal, another prophetic figure turned his gaze to the intricate dance of words and symbols. Michel de Nostradamus, a 16th-century French apothecary and seer, became one of history's most enigmatic figures, leaving behind a legacy of cryptic quatrains that continue to baffle and inspire. Among his most famous predictions was one that seemed to foreshadow the meteoric rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who would reshape Europe and leave an indelible mark on history. But how accurate were Nostradamus's prophecies, and how much of their apparent precision is the result of interpretation, or even wishful thinking? Nostradamus's quatrains, written in a blend of French, Latin, and obscure symbolism, are deliberately ambiguous. Take, for example, one of his most cited predictions: an emperor will be born near Italy who will cost the empire dearly. They will say that he is less a prince than a butcher. To many, this seems to describe Napoleon, born on the island of Corsica, which lies close to Italy. His military campaigns, marked by both brilliance and brutality, earned him a reputation that aligned strikingly with the words, "less a prince than a butcher." Yet, Nostradamus never names Napoleon outright. His prophecies are open to interpretation, allowing readers to draw connections that fit historical events. This ambiguity is both the strength and the weakness of Nostradamus's work. On one hand, it has allowed his quatrains to remain relevant for centuries, with each generation finding new meaning in his words. On the other, it raises questions about the nature of prophecy itself. Are these quatrains genuine glimpses into the future, or are they simply so vague that they can be made to fit almost any significant event? The answer likely lies somewhere in between, shaped by the human tendency to seek patterns and meaning in the unknown. Nostradamus's influence extends far beyond Napoleon. His writings have been linked to countless historical events, from the Great Fire of London to the rise of Adolf Hitler. This enduring fascination speaks to a deep-seated human desire to believe in the possibility of foresight, to find reassurance in the idea that the future is not entirely random. For modern prophecy enthusiasts, Nostradamus remains a figure of intrigue, his quatrains a treasure trove of potential insights waiting to be unlocked. Yet, Nostradamus is far from the only historical figure whose predictions have captured the imagination. Across cultures and centuries, seers and prophets have claimed to glimpse the future, shaping the course of events through their words. Some, like the Oracle of Delphi, were revered as divine messengers, Others, like Nostradamus, walked the line between scholar and mystic, their legacies shaped as much by their writings as by the interpretations of those who followed. As we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another visionary's words altered the fate of nations, weaving a tale of ambition, intrigue, and the enduring power of foresight. Among the many prophecies that have shaped human history, few are as deeply spiritual and evocative as the Hopi prophecy of the blue star Kachina. This ancient prediction, rooted in the traditions of the Hopi people of the American Southwest, speaks of a celestial event, a blue star appearing in the sky that heralds the end of one era and the dawn of another. For the Hopi, this isn't merely an astronomical occurrence. It's a profound spiritual sign, a moment of transformation that calls humanity to reflect on its relationship with the earth and the cosmos. The Hopi, who have lived in harmony with the land for thousands of years, view the universe as a living, interconnected web. Their prophecies, passed down through oral tradition, are deeply tied to this worldview. The blue star Kachina, or Sakwasoha, is said to appear as a harbinger of great change, marking the final stages of a cycle that began long ago. According to Hopi elders, the arrival of this celestial sign will signal the time for humanity to return to balance, shedding the greed and destruction that have plagued the modern world. What makes this prophecy particularly intriguing is its potential connection to modern astronomical events. In recent decades, scientists have observed phenomena such as supernova, blue stars, and even comets that could align with the Hopi's vision. For example, the appearance of a supernova, a brilliant explosion of a dying star, could be interpreted as the blue star Kachina, its light symbolizing both an ending and a new beginning. While the Hopi prophecy doesn't specify a date, its message resonates with contemporary concerns about climate change, environmental degradation, and the need for global unity. This blending of spiritual insight and natural observation is a hallmark of indigenous prophecies. Unlike many Western predictions, which often focus on specific events or individuals, indigenous traditions tend to emphasize cycles, balance, and the interconnectedness of all things. The Hopi prophecy of the blue star Kachina is no exception. It invites us to consider not just what might happen, but how we might respond, calling for a return to reverence for the earth and a recognition of our shared responsibility to protect it. As we reflect on the Hopi's ancient wisdom, we're reminded of the enduring power of prophecy to inspire and guide. Whether viewed as a literal celestial event or a metaphor for global transformation, the blue star Kachina serves as a poignant reminder of the cycles that shape our world. Indigenous prophecies like this one often intertwine with the rhythms of nature, offering insights that transcend time and culture. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll see how another civilization's vision of the future continues to captivate and challenge us, weaving together the threads of fate and human destiny. The ancient Egyptians, masters of architecture, art, and astronomy, also held a profound fascination with the mysteries of life and death. For them, the afterlife wasn't a distant, abstract concept. It was a vivid reality, a journey that every soul embarked upon after death. Central to this belief was the Book of the Dead, a collection of spells, prayers, and prophecies designed to guide the deceased through the perilous trials of the underworld. But this wasn't just a manual for the dead, it was a roadmap to immortality, filled with prophetic insights that shaped the lives of both pharaohs and commoners. The Book of the Dead wasn't a single, unified text, but rather a compilation of writings that evolved over centuries. Each version was tailored to the individual, often inscribed on papyrus scrolls and buried with the deceased to ensure safe passage to the afterlife. Among its many teachings were prophecies about the challenges the soul would face, encounters with demons, trials before the gods, and the ultimate judgment of the heart. One of the most famous prophecies within the text warned of the weighing of the heart ceremony, where the deceased's heart would be measured against the feather of Mad, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was found pure, the soul would be granted eternal life. If not, it would be devoured by the monstrous Amit, condemning the individual to oblivion. This prophecy wasn't just a grim warning, it was a call to live a balanced and righteous life. The ancient Egyptians believed that one's actions in the mortal world directly influenced their fate in the afterlife. The Book of the Dead served as both a guide and a moral compass, urging individuals to align their lives with the principles of Mat's truth, harmony, and order. This connection between prophecy and morality highlights a recurring theme in ancient cultures: the idea that destiny isn't entirely predetermined but shaped by human choices and virtues. What's particularly striking about the Book of the Dead is its universality. While it was initially reserved for royalty and the elite, over time, it became accessible to ordinary people, reflecting a belief that everyone, not just the powerful, deserved the chance to navigate the afterlife successfully. This democratization of prophecy underscores the Egyptian view that fate wasn't exclusive to the privileged. It was a shared human experience, a journey that bound all souls together in their quest for eternal peace. The Book of the Dead also reveals how deeply the Egyptians intertwined prophecy with their understanding of time. They saw life and death as part of a continuous cycle, much like the annual flooding of the Nile, which brought renewal and fertility to the land. The prophecies within the text weren't just about the afterlife. They were about the eternal recurrence of life, death, and rebirth. This cyclical worldview resonates with other ancient traditions, from the Maya to the Hopi, each offering its own perspective on the rhythms of existence. As we reflect on the Book of the Dead, we're reminded of the universal human desire to understand what lies beyond the veil of death. The Egyptians' approach was both practical and profound, blending prophecy with ritual, morality with mysticism. Their texts offer a glimpse into a civilization that saw destiny not as a fixed point, but as a journey, one that required preparation, courage, and faith. This theme of the afterlife as a journey isn't unique to Egypt. Across the ancient world, cultures grappled with the same questions, crafting their own prophecies and rituals to navigate the unknown. From the Greeks' visions of the Elysian fields to the Norse belief in Valhalla, the afterlife was a canvas for humanity's hopes, fears, and aspirations. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another civilization's vision of the future continues to echo through time, offering insights that remain as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. The Norse myth of Ragnarok stands as one of the most vivid and dramatic prophecies in ancient mythology, a tale of destruction, renewal, and the eternal struggle between chaos and order. In the cold, rugged landscapes of Scandinavia, the Vikings envisioned a final battle that would consume gods, giants, and mortals alike, bringing about the end of the world as they knew it. But Ragnarok wasn't just a story of doom, it was a prophecy of rebirth, a reminder that even in the face of annihilation, life finds a way to begin anew. Central to this myth is the idea of cyclical time, a concept shared by many ancient cultures. The Norse believed that the universe operated in vast, repeating cycles, each ending with a cataclysm and each beginning with a fresh creation. Ragnarok, often translated as the fate of the gods, was the culmination of one such cycle. It foretold a series of calamities, winters so harsh they would last for years, the sun and moon devoured by wolves, and the earth itself sinking into the sea. Amid this chaos, the gods would face their greatest foes in a climactic battle. Odin, the All-Father, would fall to the wolf Fenrir. Thor would slay the world serpent Jörmungandr but succumb to its venom, and the fire giant Surtur would engulf the world in flames. Yet, even in the ashes of destruction, the prophecy offered hope. After the fires had burned out and the old order had crumbled, a new world would emerge from the sea, a world reborn, fertile and green. Two human survivors, Lif and Lifthrasir, would repopulate the earth, and the gods who had perished would return to guide the new age. This duality of destruction and renewal is what sets Ragnarok apart, making it not just a tale of endings, but a testament to resilience and the enduring spirit of life. The parallels between Ragnarok and other apocalyptic prophecies are striking. Like the Maya's long count calendar, which marked the end of one cycle and the beginning of another, Ragnarok reflects a deep understanding of time as something that moves in spirals rather than straight lines. Similarly, the Hopi prophecy of the blue star Kachina speaks of a great transformation, urging humanity to seek balance and harmony. These recurring themes suggest a universal human fascination with the idea of renewal, a belief that even in the darkest moments, there is the promise of a new dawn. Ragnarok's influence extends far beyond ancient mythology. Its imagery and themes have permeated modern media, from blockbuster films to video games, shaping how we envision the end of the world. Marvel's Thor series, for instance, draws heavily from Norse mythology, with Ragnarok serving as a central plot point. The myth's dramatic battles, larger-than-life characters, and themes of redemption resonate with audiences, offering a timeless narrative that continues to captivate. What makes Ragnarok particularly compelling is its dual nature as both a prophecy and a cautionary tale. The events leading up to the final battle are triggered by the gods' own actions, their betrayals, their hubris, and their inability to escape fate. This intertwining of prophecy and free will raises profound questions about destiny and accountability, themes that remain relevant today. Are we, like the gods, bound by the threads of fate, or do our choices shape the course of history? As we reflect on Ragnarok, we're reminded of the power of myth to convey timeless truths. Whether through the lens of Norse mythology, the Hopi prophecies, or the Maya calendar, these stories reveal a shared human desire to make sense of the unknown, to find meaning in the cycles of creation and destruction. They remind us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, there is always the potential for renewal, a chance to rebuild, to learn, and to grow. This interplay between prophecy and storytelling is a recurring theme across cultures, offering a window into how ancient civilizations grappled with the mysteries of existence. As we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to shape our understanding of the past, weaving together the threads of myth, history, and destiny in unexpected ways. The I Ching, or Book of Changes, is one of the oldest and most revered texts in Chinese history, a cornerstone of wisdom that has guided emperors, generals, and philosophers for thousands of years. Often described as a manual for navigating life's uncertainties, the I Ching is far more than a simple divination tool. It's a profound exploration of change, balance, and the interconnectedness of all things. At its core lies the belief that the universe is in a constant state of flux, and by understanding its patterns, one can align with the flow of destiny. The origins of the I Ching trace back to the early Zhou dynasty, around 3,000 years ago, though its roots may stretch even further into the mists of Chinese antiquity. The text is built around 64 hexagrams, each composed of 6 stacked lines, some broken, some unbroken, that represent the interplay of opposing forces, yin and yang. These hexagrams serve as symbolic snapshots of life's ever-shifting dynamics, offering insights into everything from personal relationships to political strategy. What sets the I Ching apart is its emphasis on adaptability. Unlike many prophecies that predict fixed outcomes, the I Ching teaches that the future is fluid, shaped by our choices and actions. When consulted, the text provides not definitive answers but guidance, encouraging the seeker to reflect on their circumstances and act in harmony with the natural order. This philosophical approach made it an indispensable tool for Chinese rulers, who turned to the I Ching in times of war, succession crises, and natural disasters. One of the most famous examples of its influence comes from the legendary Emperor Wu of Han, who reportedly used the I Ching to guide his military campaigns. By interpreting the hexagrams, he was able to anticipate challenges and devise strategies that led to his empire's expansion. Yet, the I Ching's wisdom wasn't reserved for the powerful alone. Over time, it became a source of insight for scholars, poets, and everyday people seeking clarity in their lives. The enduring relevance of the I Ching lies in its universal themes. Its teachings on balance, change, and the cyclical nature of existence resonate across cultures and eras. In the modern world, it has found new life as a tool for personal growth and decision-making, embraced by everyone from business leaders to spiritual seekers. Its adaptability is a testament to its timeless wisdom, offering a framework for understanding not just the future, but the present moment. This focus on fluidity and interconnectedness echoes the philosophies of other ancient texts that served as guides to the unknown. Just as the I Ching uses hexagrams to map the patterns of change, the Norse runes and the tarot employ symbols to illuminate the hidden forces shaping our lives. These traditions, though distinct in their origins and methods, share a common purpose: to help humanity navigate the uncertainties of existence with wisdom and grace. As we reflect on the I Ching's profound legacy, we're reminded of the enduring human need to seek guidance in times of uncertainty. Whether through the casting of hexagrams, the reading of runes, or the interpretation of dreams, these ancient tools offer a bridge between the known and the unknown, inviting us to explore the mysteries of fate with curiosity and humility. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll see how another civilization's vision of the future continues to inspire and challenge us, weaving together the threads of insight and imagination that connect us across time. The Aztec civilization, with its towering pyramids and intricate calendars, held a profound understanding of time, not as a linear progression, but as a series of repeating cycles. At the heart of their cosmology was the prophecy of the fifth sun, a belief that their world existed within a grand cycle of creation and destruction. According to Aztec mythology, 4 previous suns or eras had already come and gone, each ending in catastrophic events that wiped out humanity. The fifth sun, known as Nahui Alan, was the current era, destined to meet its own fiery end. But what did this prophecy mean for the Aztecs, and how did it shape their daily lives and rituals? The Aztecs believed that the fifth sun was created at the ancient city of Teotihuacan, where the gods gathered to sacrifice themselves to bring forth the new era. The story goes that 2 deities, Nanahuatzin and Texas Tecatl, leaped into a sacred fire, transforming into the sun and moon. Yet, this new sun remained motionless in the sky until the other gods offered their own blood as fuel, setting the universe in motion. This act of divine sacrifice established a central theme in Aztec culture: the idea that life and order depended on the continuous offering of blood and energy. For the Aztecs, the prophecy of the fifth sun wasn't just a distant prediction, it was a call to action, a reminder that their survival depended on maintaining cosmic balance through ritual and sacrifice. The Aztec calendar, a marvel of ancient engineering, reflected this cyclical worldview, composed of two interlocking cycles: the Tonalpohualli, a 260-day sacred calendar, and the Xiuhpohualli, a 365-day solar calendar. It tracked not only time but also the movements of celestial bodies and the alignment of cosmic forces. The calendar's intricate design allowed the Aztecs to predict significant events, from agricultural cycles to potential disasters, and to plan their rituals accordingly. At the heart of this system was the belief that the fifth sun's survival hinged on the gods' favor, which could only be secured through offerings, including human sacrifice. This belief in the fragility of their world deeply influenced Aztec society. Every major decision, from warfare to agriculture, was made with the prophecy of the fifth sun in mind. Festivals like the New Fire ceremony, held every 52 years, were designed to stave off the end of the world by reigniting the sacred fire that symbolized the sun's life-giving energy. The Aztecs saw themselves as custodians of the fifth sun, tasked with ensuring its continuation through their actions and devotion. Yet, this sense of responsibility also bred a pervasive anxiety, as the prophecy loomed over their lives like an ever-present shadow. The Aztec prophecy of the fifth sun shares striking similarities with other cyclical prophecies from around the world. Like the Maya's long count calendar and the Norse myth of Ragnarok, it reflects a universal human fascination with the idea of time as a series of recurring cycles. These prophecies remind us that many ancient cultures saw existence not as a straight line, but as a spiral, where endings and beginnings are inextricably linked. For the Aztecs, the end of the fifth sun wasn't just a moment of destruction, it was an opportunity for renewal, a chance to begin again. As we delve deeper into the Aztec worldview, we're struck by how their prophecy of the fifth sun intertwined with every aspect of their lives, from religion to politics to agriculture. It was a guiding force, shaping their understanding of the universe and their place within it. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll see how another civilization's vision of the future continues to echo these themes, offering insights that resonate across time and culture. High in the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas, Tibetan Buddhist monks have long contemplated the mysteries of time, existence, and the cycles of creation and destruction. At the heart of their spiritual tradition lies the Kalachakra, a profound and complex system of teachings that encompasses not only cosmology and astrology, but also a prophecy of immense significance. The Kalachakra, or Wheel of Time, foretells a future golden age, a time of peace, harmony, and enlightenment that will emerge after a period of intense turmoil and conflict. This prophecy, deeply rooted in the teachings of Tibetan Buddhism, offers both a warning and a promise, inviting humanity to reflect on its choices and their consequences. The Kalachakra prophecy is more than a glimpse into the future, it's a call to action. According to this ancient teaching, the world is currently in the age of Kali Yuga, a time marked by strife, greed, and spiritual decline. Yet, within this darkness lies the potential for transformation. The prophecy speaks of a future ruler, known as the Kalki, who will arise to lead humanity into a new era. This figure, often associated with the teachings of the Dalai Lama, is said to embody compassion, wisdom, and the power to unite people across divides. The golden age that follows will be one of profound spiritual awakening, where violence and suffering give way to peace and prosperity. What makes the Kalachakra prophecy particularly compelling is its dual focus on the individual and the collective. On one level, it encourages personal spiritual practice, urging individuals to cultivate inner peace and wisdom. On another, it envisions a global transformation, a shift in consciousness that transcends borders and ideologies. This interplay between the personal and the universal resonates deeply with contemporary concerns about global conflict, environmental degradation, and the search for meaning in an increasingly fragmented world. The Dalai Lama has often referenced the Kalachakra teachings, emphasizing their relevance in modern times. For him, the prophecy isn't just a distant vision, it's a roadmap for navigating the challenges of the present. Through teachings, rituals, and the practice of Kalachakra meditation, he seeks to inspire individuals to embody the values of compassion and wisdom that will pave the way for the prophesied Golden Age. This connection between prophecy and practice underscores a recurring theme in Tibetan Buddhism, the belief that the future isn't fixed, but shaped by our actions and intentions. The Kalachakra prophecy also carries significant political implications, particularly in relation to the Tibetan struggle for autonomy. For many Tibetans, the Dalai Lama represents not only a spiritual leader, but also a symbol of hope for a future free from oppression. The prophecy's vision of a united and harmonious world resonates deeply with their aspirations for peace and self-determination. Yet, the Kalachakra's message extends far beyond Tibet, offering a universal call to transcend division and work toward a shared vision of the future. At its core, the Kalachakra prophecy is a testament to the power of hope. Like many ancient predictions, it speaks to the human desire for a better world, a future where suffering is alleviated and harmony prevails. This theme of hope is a common thread that runs through prophecies across cultures, from the Hopi's blue star Kachina to the Norse myth of Ragnarok. Each offers a vision of renewal, reminding us that even in the darkest times, the potential for transformation exists. As we reflect on the Kalachakra prophecy, we're invited to consider our own role in shaping the future. Will we succumb to the forces of division and greed, or will we rise to the challenge of creating a more compassionate and enlightened world? The answer lies not in the stars, but in our choices, a reminder that the threads of fate are woven by human hands. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to inspire and challenge us, weaving together the timeless themes of hope, renewal, and the enduring quest for meaning. The ancient Zoroastrian faith, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, offers a prophecy that speaks to the very heart of human existence, the concept of Fraschokreti. This profound vision, rooted in the teachings of the prophet Zarathustra, foretells a time of cosmic renewal, a moment when the forces of good will ultimately triumph over evil, and the world will be restored to its original, perfect state. Unlike many prophecies that focus solely on destruction or doom, Fraschokreti is a promise of hope, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, light will prevail. But what makes this prophecy so enduring, and how has it shaped the moral and spiritual frameworks of countless cultures? At its core, Fraschokreti is a dualistic prophecy, centering on the eternal struggle between Ahura Mazda, the god of wisdom and light, and Angra Mainyu, the spirit of chaos and destruction. According to Zoroastrian belief, This cosmic battle plays out not just in the heavens, but within every individual, as each person is called to choose between truth and falsehood, order and chaos. The prophecy predicts that at the end of time, Ahura Mazda will prevail, ushering in a final judgment where the righteous will be rewarded and the wicked will face purification. The earth itself will be renewed, free from corruption and suffering, and all creation will be reunited in harmony. This vision of a final reckoning and ultimate renewal has had a profound influence on other religions and philosophies. Many scholars believe that Zoroastrianism's dualistic world laid the groundwork for later concepts of heaven and hell, as well as the idea of a messianic figure who will bring about the end times. Elements of Fraschokreti can be seen in the apocalyptic visions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, each adapting the Zoroastrian themes of judgment, resurrection, and cosmic renewal to their own theological frameworks. For instance, the Christian concept of the Second Coming and the Islamic belief in the Day of Judgment both echo the Zoroastrian prophecy, underscoring its far-reaching impact. What makes Fraschokreti particularly compelling is its emphasis on individual responsibility. Unlike fate-driven prophecies that depict humanity as passive observers, this Zoroastrian vision places the power of choice in human hands. Every action, every decision to align with truth or falsehood contributes to the cosmic balance. This idea of moral agency resonates deeply with modern ethical thought, offering a timeless reminder that our choices matter not just for our own lives, but for the fate of the world itself. The enduring relevance of Fraschokreti lies in its hopeful message. In a world often overshadowed by conflict and uncertainty, the prophecy offers a vision of ultimate justice and renewal. It reminds us that no matter how dire the present may seem, the forces of good have the power to prevail. This theme of hope and resilience is a common thread in many ancient prophecies, from the Norse myth of Ragnarok to the Hopi prophecy of the blue star Kachina. Each, in its own way, speaks to the human capacity for transformation and the belief in a brighter future. As we reflect on the Zoroastrian prophecy of Fraschokreti, we're invited to consider how dualistic visions shape our understanding of morality and destiny. These prophecies, with their stark contrasts between good and evil, light and darkness, offer a framework for navigating life's complexities. They challenge us to examine our own choices and their impact on the world around us. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to illuminate the path forward, weaving together the threads of hope, renewal, and the timeless quest for meaning. The misty hills of ancient Britain hold secrets that have captivated imaginations for centuries, and among them is the legendary prophecy of King Arthur, a tale of a once and future king destined to return in his people's hour of greatest need. At the heart of this enduring legend lies the influence of the Celtic Druids, the spiritual guides and seers of the ancient Celts, whose prophecies wove a tapestry of myth and mystery around Arthur's story. But what did these Druidic prophecies truly foretell, and how have they shaped the Arthurian legend as we know it today? The Druids, revered as keepers of sacred knowledge, played a central role in Celtic society. They were not only priests but also poets, healers, and advisors to kings. Their prophecies, often delivered in cryptic verse, were believed to hold the wisdom of the natural world and the favor of the gods. Among their most famous predictions was the coming of a great leader, a figure who would unite the fractured tribes of Britain and defend the land against invaders. Over time, this figure became associated with Arthur, a warrior king whose legend grew to encompass both historical and mythical elements. the prophecy of Arthur's return, often summarized in the phrase Rex Quandam, Rex Futurus, the once and future king, captures the essence of this enduring myth. It suggests that Arthur did not die, but instead rests in a mystical place, such as the Isle of Avalon, awaiting the time when Britain will need him most. This idea of a sleeping hero, ready to rise again in times of crisis, has resonated deeply across cultures and eras, offering a powerful symbol of hope and resilience. Yet the Arthurian legend as we know it today is the product of centuries of storytelling, blending Celtic traditions with medieval romance. Writers like Geoffrey of Monmouth and Thomas Malory expanded on the Druidic prophecies, adding layers of chivalry, magic, and intrigue to Arthur's tale. Characters like Merlin, the wizard often depicted as a druid or seer, became central to the narrative, embodying the mystical elements of the original prophecies. This blending of history and myth has made Arthur a timeless figure, one whose story continues to inspire countless adaptations in literature, film, and art. What makes the prophecy of Arthur's return so compelling is its adaptability. Over time, Arthur has been reimagined as a symbol of justice, unity, and the enduring spirit of Britain. During times of war or social upheaval, the idea of a heroic leader returning to restore order has offered comfort and inspiration. This ability to evolve while retaining its core message is a testament to the power of prophecy to transcend its origins and speak to universal themes. The Druids' role in shaping this legend also highlights the importance of oral tradition in preserving ancient wisdom. Their prophecies, passed down through generations, were not static but dynamic, adapting to the needs and values of each era. This fluidity allowed the Arthurian legend to remain relevant, even as the world around it changed. As we reflect on the prophecy of Arthur and the Druids, we're reminded of how legendary figures become symbols of hope and renewal. Whether seen as historical figures, mythical heroes, or embodiments of cultural ideals, these stories offer a lens through which we can explore our own aspirations and fears. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll see how another culture's vision of the future continues to inspire and challenge us, weaving together the threads of myth, history, and the timeless human quest for meaning. The Inca Empire, a vast and sophisticated civilization that stretched across the Andes, held a prophecy that would shape its destiny in ways no one could have foreseen. Known as the prophecy of Pachakuti, it spoke of a time of profound upheaval and transformation, a period when the world would be turned upside down, and the old order would give way to something entirely new. Pachakuti, one of the Inca's greatest rulers and a visionary leader, was said to have foreseen this era of change, though the details of his prophecy remain shrouded in mystery and legend. At its core, the prophecy of Pachakuti was a warning and a promise. It foretold a time when outsiders would arrive, bringing chaos and destruction, but also the potential for renewal. For the Inca, this prophecy took on a chilling relevance with the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the early 16th century. The sudden appearance of these foreign invaders, armed with advanced weapons and accompanied by strange diseases, seemed to fulfill the prophecy in the most devastating way possible. The once mighty Inca Empire, which had thrived for centuries, was brought to its knees in a matter of years, its cities plundered, its people enslaved, and its culture irrevocably altered. Yet the prophecy of Pachakuti wasn't just about destruction. It also carried a message of resilience and hope. Pachakuti, whose name means "he who transforms the world," was revered as a ruler who had ushered in a golden age for the Inca, expanding their empire and establishing a system of governance, architecture, and agriculture that was unparalleled in its time. His prophecy hinted that even in the face of collapse, there was the potential for rebirth, a chance to rebuild and emerge stronger, though perhaps in ways that were unrecognizable from the past. The impact of this prophecy on Inca society was profound. In the years leading up to the Spanish conquest, the Inca had already begun to experience internal strife and division, which some interpreted as signs of the prophecy's fulfillment. When the conquistadors arrived, many saw them not just as foreign invaders, but as agents of a divine plan, fulfilling the foretold upheaval. This belief, while offering a sense of cosmic order to the chaos, also created a fatalistic mindset that may have contributed to the empire's rapid collapse. At the same time, the prophecy's promise of renewal inspired resistance and resilience among some Inca communities, who sought to preserve their traditions and adapt to the new reality imposed by the Spanish. The prophecy of Pachakuti is a powerful example of how prophecies often emerge during times of crisis, offering both explanations and guidance in the face of uncertainty. For the Inca, it provided a framework for understanding the cataclysmic changes brought by the Spanish conquest, blending the spiritual with the historical in a way that resonated deeply with their worldview. This interplay between prophecy and crisis is a recurring theme across cultures, reflecting a universal human need to find meaning in the midst of upheaval. As we reflect on the Inca's experience, we're reminded of the dual nature of prophecies, their ability to both foreshadow and shape the future. Whether as warnings, promises, or calls to action, these ancient predictions continue to offer insights into how societies navigate moments of transformation, blending the mystical with the practical in ways that defy easy explanation. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to echo these timeless themes, weaving together the threads of fate, resilience, and the enduring human spirit. The ancient Babylonians, masters of astronomy and mathematics, believed that the heavens held the key to understanding the future. Among their most revered texts was the Enuma Anu Enlil, a monumental collection of celestial omens that linked the movements of the stars and planets to the fates of kings and empires. Written on clay tablets over 3,000 years ago, this text wasn't just a scientific document, it was a prophetic guide, offering insights into everything from crop yields to the outcomes of wars. For the Babylonians, the sky was a living, breathing map of destiny, and the Enuma Anu Enlil served as their compass. At the heart of this text was the belief that celestial events, eclipses, comets, and planetary alignments were not random occurrences but deliberate messages from the gods. Each omen was meticulously recorded, detailing the specific conditions under which it appeared and the events it was believed to foretell. For example, the appearance of a solar eclipse might signal the downfall of a ruler, while a particularly bright star could herald a time of prosperity. These omens were so influential that Babylonian kings relied on them to make critical decisions, from launching military campaigns to planning agricultural activities. In this way, the Enuma Anu Enlil wasn't just a tool for divination, it was a cornerstone of governance and strategy. The legacy of the Enuma Anu Enlil extends far beyond ancient Mesopotamia. Its meticulous observations laid the groundwork for the development of Western astrology, influencing cultures from Greece to Rome and beyond. The Babylonians' belief in the interconnectedness of celestial and earthly events shaped how later civilizations understood the cosmos, blending science and spirituality in ways that continue to resonate today. Even now, the idea that the stars might hold clues to our destiny captivates the imagination, a testament to the enduring power of this ancient text. What's particularly fascinating about the Enuma Anu Enlil is its dual nature as both a scientific and a prophetic work. The Babylonians were among the first to systematically observe and record celestial phenomena, creating a body of knowledge that was remarkably accurate for its time. Yet they also saw these observations as part of a larger cosmic narrative, one in which the gods communicated their will through the heavens. This blending of empirical observation and spiritual interpretation reflects a worldview that saw no separation between the natural and the divine, a perspective that shaped not only their prophecies but their entire culture. The influence of the Enuma Anu Enlil can still be felt in modern astrology, where the positions of celestial bodies are believed to influence human affairs. While the scientific community may view this as pseudoscience, the cultural and historical significance of these ancient practices is undeniable. The Babylonians' ability to find meaning in the stars speaks to a universal human desire to seek order in the chaos of existence, to find patterns that might offer guidance or reassurance in uncertain times. As we reflect on the Enuma Anu Enlil, we're reminded of how deeply interconnected our understanding of the cosmos and our sense of destiny have always been. The Babylonians looked to the stars not just for knowledge, but for wisdom, a reminder that the universe is a vast, interconnected web, and that even the smallest celestial event might carry profound significance. This ancient text invites us to consider our own relationship with the cosmos, to ponder whether the stars above might still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. From the clay tablets of Babylon to the astrological charts of today, the idea that celestial events can shape our fate has endured, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the mysteries of the heavens. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another civilization's vision of the future continues to illuminate our understanding of the past, weaving together the threads of science, spirituality, and the timeless quest for meaning. The story of Cassandra, the Trojan princess cursed with the gift of foresight, is one of the most poignant and tragic tales in Greek mythology. Blessed, or rather, cursed by the god Apollo, Cassandra could see the future with absolute clarity, but her prophecies were doomed to be disbelieved. Imagine the torment of knowing what lies ahead, of shouting warnings into the void, only to be dismissed as mad or ignored entirely. Her tale is a haunting exploration of fate, free will, and the limits of human agency, themes that resonate deeply in a world where the future often feels uncertain. Cassandra's curse began with an unfortunate encounter with Apollo. According to legend, the god granted her the gift of prophecy in an attempt to win her affection. But when she rejected his advances, Apollo, in a fit of divine pettiness, cursed her so that no one would ever believe her visions. This cruel twist of fate turned her gift into a burden, isolating her from those she sought to protect. Her prophecies, though always true, were met with skepticism and scorn, leaving her powerless to change the outcome she foresaw. One of Cassandra's most famous prophecies came during the Trojan War. As the Greeks presented the Trojan horse to the city of Troy, a supposed peace offering, Cassandra saw through the ruse. She warned her people that the horse was a trap, a harbinger of destruction. But her warnings fell on deaf ears. The Trojans, blinded by pride and the illusion of victory, brought the horse within their walls, sealing their doom. That night, as Greek soldiers emerged from the horse and sacked the city, Cassandra's prophecy was tragically fulfilled. Her story serves as a stark reminder of how often wisdom is ignored in the face of arrogance and short-sightedness. Yet, Cassandra's tale is more than just a cautionary story about the fall of Troy. It raises profound questions about the nature of prophecy and human agency. If the future is foretold, can it be changed? Or are we, like Cassandra's listeners, bound to follow a path we cannot, or will not, alter? Greek mythology often grapples with these themes, presenting prophecies as both inevitable and deeply personal. The gods may set the stage, but it is human choices that ultimately shape the outcome. Cassandra's curse also highlights the tension between knowledge and power. She possessed the ultimate form of knowledge, the ability to see the future, yet she was stripped of the power to act on it. This dynamic reflects a recurring theme in ancient prophecies, the idea that foresight alone is not enough. Without the ability to influence others or change the course of events, knowledge becomes a form of torment. In this way, Cassandra's story is a meditation on the limits of human agency, reminding us that understanding the future is not the same as controlling it. Her legacy extends far beyond the walls of Troy. In literature and art, Cassandra has become a symbol of the misunderstood truth-teller, the voice of reason drowned out by ignorance or denial. Her plight resonates in modern times, where warnings about climate change, political instability, and social injustice often go unheeded until it's too late. In this sense, Cassandra's story is timeless, a mirror held up to humanity's tendency to ignore uncomfortable truths until they become unavoidable. As we reflect on Cassandra's tragic tale, we're reminded of the delicate balance between fate and free will, knowledge and action. Her prophecies were not just about the fall of Troy, they were about the human condition, the struggle to be heard, and the cost of ignoring those who see what others cannot. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to illuminate these timeless themes, weaving together the threads of foresight, choice, and the enduring quest for meaning. Centuries ago, deep within the sacred texts of Hinduism, a prophecy emerged that continues to captivate believers and scholars alike. The prophecy of Kalki, the 10th and final avatar of the god Vishnu. In a world steeped in darkness and moral decay, Kalki is foretold to arrive on a white horse, wielding a blazing sword, to restore righteousness and bring an end to the current age, known as Kali Yuga. This age, characterized by greed, corruption, and spiritual decline, is seen as the darkest chapter in the cosmic cycle of time. But the prophecy of Kalki is not merely a tale of destruction. It's a promise of renewal, a vision of hope that transcends the boundaries of Hinduism and resonates with messianic prophecies across cultures. The concept of Kalki is deeply rooted in Hindu cosmology, which views time as a series of repeating cycles, or yugas. Each yuga represents a different stage in the moral and spiritual evolution of humanity, with Kali Yuga being the most turbulent and challenging. According to the Puranas, ancient texts that detail Hindu mythology and philosophy, Kalki will appear at the end of this age to cleanse the world of its impurities and usher in a new era of truth and harmony, known as Satya Yuga. His arrival is not just a divine intervention, but a call to humanity to rise above its flaws and embrace a higher spiritual path. What makes the prophecy of Kalki particularly compelling is its universal themes. Like the Christian concept of the Second Coming or the Zoroastrian belief in the Saoshyant, Kalki represents a savior figure who emerges during humanity's darkest hour to restore balance and justice. These parallels suggest a shared human longing for redemption and renewal, a belief that no matter how dire the present may seem, there is always the possibility of transformation. The idea of a divine figure who descends to earth to guide humanity through crisis is a recurring motif in religious and mythological traditions, reflecting our collective hope for a better future. The imagery surrounding Kalki is both striking and symbolic. His white horse, often depicted as radiant and otherworldly, represents purity and the triumph of light over darkness. The sword he wields is not just a weapon, but a symbol of divine justice, cutting through ignorance and corruption to reveal truth. These elements combine to create a powerful vision of renewal, one that speaks not only to the spiritual realm, but also to the moral and ethical challenges of our time. In a world grappling with inequality, environmental degradation, and social unrest, the story of Kalki offers a timely reminder of the need for courage, integrity, and collective action. The prophecy also raises profound questions about the nature of time and human agency. While Kalki's arrival is foretold, the texts emphasize that his coming is not inevitable. It depends on the actions and choices of humanity. This interplay between destiny and free will is a central theme in Hindu philosophy, suggesting that the future is not fixed but shaped by our decisions. In this way, the prophecy of Kalki is not just a prediction but a call to action, urging us to take responsibility for our world and strive for a more just and compassionate society. As we reflect on the prophecy of Kalki, we're reminded of the enduring power of messianic visions to inspire and guide. Whether through the figure of a divine warrior, a compassionate sage, or a unifying leader, these prophecies offer hope in times of uncertainty, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, the potential for renewal exists. They challenge us to look beyond the present and envision a future defined not by division and despair, but by unity and hope. This theme of a savior figure is not unique to Hinduism. It appears in countless traditions, each offering its own vision of a better world. As we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to inspire and challenge us, weaving together the threads of hope, renewal, and the timeless quest for meaning. In the windswept plains of the American West, a prophecy emerged that would ignite a movement of hope, resistance, and profound spiritual awakening among Native American tribes. Known as the Ghost Dance, this prophecy promised the restoration of ancestral lands, the return of the buffalo, and the end of suffering for indigenous peoples. Rooted in the visions of a Paiute holy man named Wovoka, the Ghost Dance movement spread like wildfire across tribal nations in the late 19th century, offering a glimpse of renewal in the face of relentless oppression. But what began as a spiritual vision of hope would soon collide with the harsh realities of a changing world, leaving a legacy that is as tragic as it is inspiring. Wovoka's prophecy came during a time of immense hardship for Native Americans, forced onto reservations, stripped of their traditional ways of life, and facing the devastating loss of their lands and cultures. Many tribes were searching for a way to reclaim their identity and dignity. Wovoka's vision, received during a solar eclipse in 1889, offered just that. He spoke of a world where the earth would be renewed, where the dead would rise, and where the buffalo once hunted to near extinction would return in abundance. According to his teachings, performing the Ghost Dance, a ritual of prayer and movement, would hasten this transformation, bringing about a new era of peace and prosperity. The Ghost Dance quickly became a unifying force among tribes, from the Lakota Sioux to the Cheyenne and beyond. It wasn't just a dance, it was a symbol of resilience, a way to reconnect with ancestral traditions and resist the forces of colonization. For many, the prophecy offered a spiritual lifeline, a way to envision a future where their suffering would end and their way of life would be restored. The movement's rapid spread is a testament to its power, as it touched the hearts of people who had endured unimaginable loss and displacement, Yet, the ghost dance also became a source of fear for the U.S. government and settlers, who saw it as a threat to their dominance. Misunderstood and misrepresented, the movement was labeled as a call to violence, even though Wovoka's teachings emphasized peace and nonviolence. This fear culminated in one of the darkest chapters in American history, the massacre at Wounded Knee in 1890, when U.S. troops opened fire on a group of Lakota Sioux, many of whom were practicing the ghost dance. Hundreds of men, women, and children were killed. The tragedy marked the end of the ghost dance movement and became a devastating symbol of the violent suppression of Native American resistance. The ghost dance prophecy, though unfulfilled in its time, continues to resonate as a powerful symbol of hope and resilience. It reminds us of the enduring strength of indigenous cultures, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. The movement's legacy lives on in the ongoing struggles for Native American rights and cultural preservation, a testament to the power of prophecy to inspire not just hope, but action. This duality of hope and tragedy is a recurring theme in the history of prophecy. Like the Inca's prophecy of Pachakuti or the Hopi's blue star Kachina, the ghost dance reveals how prophecies can serve as both spiritual guides and calls to resistance. They offer a vision of a better future, even when the present seems bleak, and remind us that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary resilience in the face of injustice. As we reflect on the ghost dance and its profound impact, we're reminded of the ways in which prophecies can transcend their origins, becoming symbols of hope and resistance for generations to come. They challenge us to consider not just the future, but the present, to ask how we might honor the struggles of the past while working toward a more just and equitable world. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to inspire and challenge us, weaving together the threads of hope, resilience, and the enduring quest for meaning. In the tapestry of Islamic tradition, the prophecy of the Mahdi stands as a beacon of hope and justice, a messianic figure destined to appear before the end of times to restore balance and usher in an era of peace. Rooted in the teachings of the Quran and the Hadith, the concept of the Mahdi, or the Guided One, has captivated the hearts and minds of Muslims for centuries. It's a prophecy that transcends sectarian divides, resonating deeply within both Sunni and Shia traditions, though interpretations of his role and arrival vary widely. For many, the Mahdi represents not just a future leader, but a symbol of divine intervention in a world plagued by injustice and chaos. At its core, the prophecy of the Mahdi is a promise of renewal. According to Islamic teachings, he will emerge during a time of great turmoil, a period marked by widespread corruption, war, and moral decay. His mission will be to establish justice, eliminate oppression, and unite humanity under the banner of true faith. The Mahdi is often described as a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, chosen by divine will to guide the world back to righteousness. His reign, though temporary, is said to precede the final days, serving as a bridge between the trials of the present and the ultimate judgment to come. What makes this prophecy particularly compelling is its universal appeal. Across cultures and centuries, the idea of a savior figure who rises to restore justice and harmony has been a recurring theme. In the Islamic context, the Mahdi embodies this archetype, offering a vision of hope that speaks to the deepest aspirations of humanity. His arrival is not just a theological event, but a call to action, urging individuals to strive for justice and righteousness in their own lives. This dual emphasis on divine intervention and human responsibility is a hallmark of Islamic prophecy, reflecting a worldview that sees the future as shaped by both faith and action. The influence of the Mahdi prophecy extends far beyond theology, shaping political and social movements throughout history. In times of crisis, many have looked to this messianic figure as a source of inspiration and a rallying point for resistance against oppression. For example, during the colonial era, leaders in various Muslim-majority regions invoked the Mahdi's legacy to mobilize their communities against foreign domination. Perhaps the most famous example is the Sudanese Mahdist movement of the late 19th century, led by Muhammad Ahmad, who declared himself the Mahdi and successfully challenged British and Egyptian forces, establishing a short-lived Islamic state. In contemporary times, the prophecy of the Mahdi continues to inspire, though its interpretations have become increasingly diverse. Some view it through a spiritual lens, emphasizing personal piety and moral renewal, while others see it as a call for political and social transformation. This diversity of thought reflects the complexity of the prophecy itself, which has been shaped by centuries of theological debate and cultural context. What remains constant, however, is the enduring hope it offers, a belief that no matter how dark the present may seem, a brighter future is always possible. The prophecy of the Mahdi also raises profound questions about the nature of justice and leadership. What does it mean to be a just ruler in a world filled with inequality and strife? How can individuals and communities work toward a more equitable and compassionate society? These questions resonate far beyond the boundaries of Islam, inviting people of all backgrounds to reflect on their own roles in shaping the future. In this way, the Mahdi's story is not just a religious narrative, but a universal one, offering insights that transcend time and culture. As we reflect on the prophecy of the Mahdi, we're reminded of the power of hope to inspire change. Whether viewed as a spiritual guide, a political leader, or a symbol of divine justice, the Mahdi embodies the timeless human desire for a better world. His story challenges us to consider how we, too, can contribute to the pursuit of justice and peace, even in the face of overwhelming odds. This is a theme that runs through many of the prophecies we've explored, a belief that the future, though uncertain, holds the promise of renewal for those who dare to hope and act. From the ancient oracles of Greece to the messianic visions of Islam, prophecies have always reflected our deepest aspirations and fears. They remind us that the future is not just something to be predicted, but something to be shaped. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future continues to illuminate these timeless themes, weaving together the threads of hope, resilience, and the enduring quest for meaning. Among the rugged fjords and icy winds of the Viking Age, a unique group of women held a sacred and mysterious role in Norse society, the Valva. These seeresses, often adorned in distinctive robes and carrying staffs, were revered as intermediaries between the mortal world and the divine. They were not mere fortune tellers but spiritual guides, believed to possess the ability to enter trances and commune with the gods, revealing glimpses of the future. In a culture built on bravery and exploration, the Valva's prophecies offered both guidance and warnings, shaping the decisions of kings, warriors, and everyday people alike. The rituals of the Valva were as fascinating as they were enigmatic. To enter a prophetic trance, they would often sit on a high platform, surrounded by chanting and drumming, while consuming a special brew made from sacred herbs. This altered state of consciousness allowed them to travel beyond the physical world, where they could access hidden knowledge and deliver messages from the gods. One of the most famous accounts of a Valva's prophecy comes from the saga of Eric the Red, where a seeress is summoned to predict the fate of a Greenland settlement. Her visions, delivered in cryptic verse, warned of hardship and famine, but also promised eventual prosperity. These prophecies, though often open to interpretation, were taken seriously by those who sought her counsel. What set the Volva apart was not just their ability to see the future, but their deep connection to the spiritual fabric of Norse culture. They were seen as guardians of ancient wisdom, preserving the traditions and beliefs that bound Viking communities together. Their prophecies were not just about individual destinies, but often addressed the collective fate of families, clans, and even entire regions. In a world where the line between the natural and supernatural was thin, the Volva served as a bridge, offering clarity in times of uncertainty and hope in the face of adversity. The influence of the Volva extended beyond their prophetic abilities. They were also healers, ritualists, and advisors, playing a vital role in the spiritual and social life of their communities. Their presence at key events, such as births, marriages, and funerals, underscored their importance in navigating life's transitions. Yet, their power also came with a degree of fear and reverence. To defy or disrespect a Volva was to risk the wrath of the gods, a belief that further elevated their status and ensured their words were heeded. The prophecies of the Volva often reflected the cyclical nature of Norse mythology, where endings and beginnings were intertwined. Like the myth of Ragnarok, which foretold the destruction and rebirth of the world, their visions emphasized the inevitability of change and the resilience needed to endure it. This connection between prophecy and the rhythms of life and death reveals a deeper truth about the Viking worldview, that fate, while powerful, was not entirely fixed. The choices made by individuals and communities could shape the outcome, a reminder that even in the face of destiny, human agency mattered. As we reflect on the role of the Volva, we're reminded of how prophecy often emerges from the intersection of the spiritual and the everyday. Their rituals and visions were not abstract or detached, but deeply rooted in the realities of Viking life. They offered a way to navigate the uncertainties of a harsh and unpredictable world, providing both comfort and caution. This blend of the mystical and the practical is a recurring theme in the prophecies we've explored, each one reflecting the unique challenges and aspirations of its time. The legacy of the Volva continues to captivate us, not just as a historical curiosity, but as a testament to the enduring human need to seek meaning and guidance. Their stories invite us to consider how we, too, navigate the unknown, drawing on both tradition and intuition to chart our path forward. And as we turn to the next prophecy, we'll explore how another culture's vision of the future weaves together the threads of spirituality, community, and the timeless quest for understanding. Centuries of hope, longing, and spiritual yearning converge in the Jewish prophecy of the Messiah, a figure whose coming is believed to herald an era of global redemption, justice, and peace. Rooted deeply in the Hebrew Bible and Jewish tradition, the concept of the Messiah has shaped not only the spiritual identity of Judaism, but also influenced countless other religious and cultural narratives. This prophecy, rich with symbolism and profound meaning, speaks to a universal human desire for a world free from suffering and strife, where harmony and righteousness prevail. The Jewish Messiah, or Mashiach in Hebrew, is described as a future leader anointed by God to restore the Jewish people to their land, rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, and usher in an age of universal peace. This vision is intricately tied to the covenant between God and the Jewish people, a promise that has sustained hope through millennia of exile, persecution, and hardship. The Messiah is not merely a political or military figure but a spiritual beacon, embodying the ideals of justice, compassion, and divine purpose. Central to this prophecy is the idea of tikkun olam, or repairing the world. The Messiah's arrival is seen as the culmination of humanity's collective effort to align with divine will, a moment when the brokenness of the world will be healed. This concept resonates deeply within Jewish thought, emphasizing not passive waiting but active participation in creating a better world. It's a reminder that prophecies are not just about what will happen, but about what we can do to bring them to fruition. The influence of the Jewish messianic prophecy extends far beyond Judaism. Early Christianity, for instance, drew heavily from these traditions, reinterpreting the Messiah as Jesus Christ. Similarly, Islamic teachings incorporate the idea of a messianic figure, known as the Mahdi, who will appear near the end of times to restore justice. These shared themes highlight a fascinating interplay between religious traditions, where messianic prophecies serve as bridges between cultures, even as they are shaped by distinct theological frameworks. Yet, the idea of a Messiah is not without its complexities. Throughout history, various figures have been hailed as potential messiahs, from the revolutionary Simon Bar Kokhba in ancient times to the mystical Shabbatai Zvi in the 17th century. Each of these movements sparked intense hope and ultimately deep disappointment when their promises went unfulfilled. These episodes reveal the dual nature of messianic prophecies. They can inspire profound hope and unity, but they can also lead to division and disillusionment when expectations clash with reality. This tension between unity and division is a recurring theme in the history of prophecy. Messianic visions often bring people together under a shared hope, yet differing interpretations can create rifts within and between communities. In Judaism, for example, debates about the nature of the Messiah, whether he will be a mortal leader or a supernatural figure, have persisted for centuries. These discussions are not just academic, they reflect deeper questions about faith, identity, and the human condition. The enduring power of the Jewish messianic prophecy lies in its ability to inspire both individual and collective transformation. It challenges us to envision a world where justice and peace are not just ideals but realities. At the same time, it invites us to reflect on our own role in shaping the future. Are we waiting for a savior, or are we called to be active participants in the work of redemption? This question resonates across cultures and faiths, reminding us that prophecies are not just about the future, they are about how we live in the present. As we consider the Jewish prophecy of the Messiah alongside other messianic traditions, we see a tapestry of hope woven across time and space. These prophecies, though diverse in their details, share a common thread: the belief that the world, despite its flaws, can be transformed. They remind us that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary resilience, and that even in the darkest times, the promise of renewal remains. This theme of renewal connects the messianic visions of Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and countless other traditions, offering a glimpse into humanity's shared aspirations. As we turn to the final reflections of this journey through ancient prophecies, we'll explore how these timeless visions continue to shape our understanding of the past, present, and future, weaving together the threads of hope, resilience, and the enduring quest for meaning. As we reach the end of this journey through the whispers of the past, it's striking to see how these 20 ancient prophecies, each rooted in its own culture, time, and worldview, echo a shared human longing to understand the forces that shape our lives. From the cryptic riddles of the Oracle of Delphi to the cosmic cycles of the Maya, from the messianic visions of Judaism and Islam to the spiritual awakenings foretold by the Hopi and Tibetan Buddhists, these prophecies are as diverse as the civilizations that birthed them. Yet, beneath their differences, they reveal profound common threads: the tension between fate and free will, the inevitability of change, and the enduring hope for renewal. What binds these prophecies together is not just their focus on the future, but their ability to reflect the deepest concerns and aspirations of their times. The Inca's prophecy of Pachakuti warned of upheaval and transformation in the face of Spanish conquest, while the Ghost Dance movement offered a vision of hope to Native American tribes enduring unimaginable loss. The Norse Valva's trance-induced visions and the Babylonians' celestial omens both sought to make sense of a chaotic world, offering guidance in the face of uncertainty. And figures like King Arthur and the Mahdi became symbols of unity and justice, embodying the timeless human desire for a better world. These prophecies also remind us that the future is not a fixed destination, but a dynamic interplay of forces, divine, natural, and human. The Zoroastrian vision of Fraschokreti, where good ultimately triumphs over evil, and the Hindu prophecy of Kalki, who will restore righteousness in a time of moral decay, both emphasize the role of human agency in shaping destiny. Similarly, the I Ching's hexagrams and the Sibylline Books' cryptic verses suggest that the future is not something to be passively accepted, but something to be actively navigated with wisdom and intention. In modern times, these ancient predictions continue to resonate, offering both comfort and challenge. They remind us that humanity has always grappled with uncertainty, seeking meaning in the face of chaos. Whether through the lens of mythology, religion, or science, the quest to understand our place in the cosmos remains as urgent today as it was thousands of years ago. The Maya's long count calendar, for instance, sparked global fascination and debate in 2012, while Nostradamus's quatrains continue to inspire interpretations of current events. These prophecies, though rooted in the past, remain alive in our collective imagination, shaping how we think about the future. But perhaps the most compelling question these prophecies raise is not about the future, but about ourselves. What if the ancients were right all along? What if the cycles of creation and destruction they described are not just metaphors, but patterns woven into the fabric of existence? What if the warnings and promises they left behind are not relics of a bygone era, but timeless truths waiting to be rediscovered? These are questions that invite us to reflect on our own lives, our choices, and the legacy we hope to leave behind. As we close this exploration of ancient prophecies, we're reminded that the past is not just a collection of stories, it's a mirror reflecting our hopes, fears, and dreams. These predictions, whether fulfilled or unfulfilled, continue to inspire us to look beyond the horizon, to imagine what might be, and to strive for a future defined not by division and despair, but by unity and hope. What do you think? Could these ancient prophecies hold clues to the mysteries of our time, or are they simply stories that speak to our deepest desires? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the mysteries of history. The past has much to teach us if we're willing to listen.